Hello, it's Chris Trimble. I'm author of How Stella Saved the Farm, and I'm joined today by Clay Adams, who's the chief executive of a wonderful company called Simon Pearce. Clay, thanks so much for joining us.
Happy to join you.
Clay, before we talk about the book, maybe you could tell us just a little bit about Simon Pearce and what your agenda in terms of innovation is for the company.
Simon Pearce is a company that has been based here in the United States for more than 3 decades, and for 10 years before that in Ireland. Simon Pearce is the name of our founder, and I've recently taken over from him as CEO. We are a company that makes handmade glass and pottery here domestically and sells it to the luxury market. And I think clear glass is what we're known for, and we're nationwide here in the United States and with a high concentration in New England, where we have been based.
And Clay, tell us just a little bit about how you used How Stella Saved the Farm with your colleagues.
We used How Stella Saved the Farm here, and I've actually used it in other work environments as well, to really help us focus our thinking on innovation. And coincidentally, the company headquarters is in a town called Windsor, which is in the book Windsor Farm, so it hit pretty close to home. And I specifically used it in a discussion forum with the production team and product development team to help us think about how we can be innovative in our approach to serving the market needs of our customer. Historically, we as a company had developed product I think that we believed would be great for the market, but I'm trying to drive the company to be a bit more customer-centric and challenging us to do things differently, not only in our production methods, but most importantly in our approach to marketing and trying to develop what expressly the customer does want or the customer will buy.
Clay, how did your colleagues react when you first suggested that you all read a parable?
I think they reacted very well. I don't know how they reacted behind closed doors, but I think I received generally, I'd say, neutral and a response to that when I kind of said, hey, we're going to do a book club internally, and this is a group that's not really, I think, the book club type in some cases, but I think that I was really pleased when we got in the room to actually have the discussion, and there were probably 8 or 9 of us there, and that people were really engaged, and it was a really fruitful discussion around using the book, as you would in any book club, to kind of bring it back to the specifics of our own business.
Clay, did everybody read the book?
I suspect everybody did, and I think one of the things that I mentioned to this group before we got going was that, look, this is a very accessible book, and I think therefore that leads to some of its power. And I've read many, many business books, and I think in the conventional sense, and I've always said that most of those books can be about 1/3 as long as they are to really get the meat out of them. And I think this book, in its format, really allowed someone to kind of plow through it in a short amount of time and draw some pretty powerful conclusions.
Can you tell us maybe 1 or 2 things about how you ran the discussion?
I ran the discussion by just kind of setting up at the beginning what I wanted to get out of it, and encouraging people to speak very openly and freely. And then I had queued up in the back of the book, there are a few pages of suggested questions, and I had directed people while they were reading it to take a look at those questions, and then I, ahead of time, had flagged for my own benefit a handful of those questions in the 2 different parts where they exist, and kind of teed up this discussion initially with one of those questions, and anytime the conversation seemed to trail off a bit, I would put out another question, and that seemed to work very well and didn't overcomplicate things, but kept the conversation going, and I think made it more fruitful.
Was there one key takeaway?
I think the key takeaway is that we have to innovate and evolve as a company, or else the world will pass us by. And I think that also we have to work together as a team to do that, and not be provincial or parochial in our thinking internally. And I think one of the things I say is that organizations, I think, devolve in their natural state to be siloed. People like to focus on what their area is, but I think we have to constantly work toward a common goal and across whatever those boundaries are to do that. And this was an area where I think that boundary needed to be crossed, and I think the book really helped us do that. And of course, one of the fun parts of the book was we all started figuring out who is who in the book, or which characters would represent the real people here. And that made it a little bit more enjoyable and got some good laughs.
It's always good to get a few good laughs with an important takeaway. Clay, thank you very much for your time. I've enjoyed the conversation.
My pleasure, Chris. Best of luck to you.